Now that 2013 has ended, let's look at the 7 douchiest songs of 2013. Because I like to make sure a last-minute song doesn't fit on such a list. Unfortunately, Katy Perry's third single on the radio at once, Dark Horses, is not remotely douchey. But I must thank her for allowing me to hear 2 of her songs over any given 15 minutes of driving as 2013 came to a close. Perhaps next year she can try not to spam the airwaves? Maybe? However, back to the douchey songs. What is likely to get a song on this list is extremely shallow themes or excessive sexual tones. I know the last one sounds like it could literally beat any mainstream song, but I'm talking about the songs that really push it, and might even be a little bit offensive. Also, I'm focusing on mainstream music because it is a common ground, and I don't want to have to listen to a bunch of country to make sure there wasn't anything worthy, which, knowing country, there probably are several. Up first at number 7, Thrift Shop by Macklemore. I feel bad for putting this on the list because if you really listen carefully to this song, it is the exact opposite of douchebaggery. This song attacks the super shallow, douchey attitude of needing designer clothes and brand recognition. However, if you only half listen, you can get the exact opposite message, and for that, and the fact 2013 only had a couple of songs that are really pretty douchey, Thrift Shop takes number 7. At number 6, We Can't Stop by Miley Cyrus. Alrighty, this song loosely fits as a very shallow, materialistic, carnal subject matter with a strong flavoring of teenage angst. I remember the days of teenage angst, and I don't miss them a bit. Adult angst is so much better. Anyway, this song has several drug references, party and yeah, and sexual references that range from obvious to WTF esoteric, but probably are supposed to be shallowly sexual. At number 5, Get Lucky by Daft Punk. Daft Punk is still making music? Who knew? Anyway, this song is, in short, about a guy falling for a girl and staying up all night to have sex with her. It doesn't really get too explicit and shallow, but I picture this character being very giddy and obsessive about the idea of getting lucky and getting some. Both euphemisms for sex, which is most certainly good fun. It just kind of seems like this is the only thing he's thinking about, and that is just a little bit douchey. At number 4, Slow Down by Selena Gomez. To me, this is a very sexual song, but in worse years, it wouldn't even come close. Mr. TSA, I'm ready for inspection. Yeah, definitely a very erotic and invasive image came to mind. But if she's down with cavity searches and then spooning all night, good for her. Though the sex actually sounds pretty hot and intimate, so it is hard to say it is sexual in an excessively shallow or demeaning way. At number 3, Timber by Kesha. I like to think this song is actually about fighting, but dance can mean fighting or sex, and it seems this was intended to be about sex. You know how I said this year didn't have many truly douchey songs? We're getting into those few. Kesha's part isn't too bad, but if you look up the lyrics for Pitbull's mumbling, he sounds like a 13-year-old. A grown man sounding like an adolescent boy whose mind is something like this. It totally sounds like immature, self-gratifying, and kind of demeaning sexual fantasies that would have nothing for his partner. Yes, Pitbull, you are a biggity-diggity dog, whatever that means, and having a woman with her face on the floor doing the downward-facing dog yoga pose after twerking for your amusement? Sounds like she is getting a lot out of this scenario besides screwed in several meanings of the word. Maybe he is like a dog after all. At number 2, Give It To You by Robin Thicke. I bet you didn't expect this gem of gentlemanly chivalry. Such class and respect. Unless you are clearly being silly, You probably don't want to address a woman you might ever want to have sex with as just girl. Similarly, for women, you probably don't want to call a man just boy. But he has a big kiss for you, and he's a little thick for you, and he has a big dick for you? Coming on a little fast, Robin. Sounds like maybe time for a restraining order or calling the bouncer over. Am I the only one who imagines a guy coming up to a girl he just met in a club and aggressively harassing her and hunting her? At number 1, Blurred Lines. You probably expected this one, except maybe when you saw number 2. But indeed, Robin is so douchey, he takes the number 1 and 2 spots. Congrats. Let's see. Comparing women to animals, coming on like that forceful perv again, trying to convince the target to cheat, so he has no respect for her. She likely slaps or decks him, and he interprets it as her wanting him and being DTF. And what rhymes with hug? I think she is thinking of 3 words she wants done to you. The first really doesn't rhyme much, and the last 2 are you up. Though maybe she just wants to slug you in the face. Robin has said it is supposed to be empowering and is sarcastic, but I'm not buying that. I'm sarcastic a lot, and something like this I would never play as straight as he supposedly plays this. It's not funny to joke about this kind of thing. But then there's the video. The very not safe for work video. I don't think I've heard a more sexist song, and if you remove the lyrics, the song is still irritating as chicken clucks. This is the only song I've ever shouted no to when I'm alone in my car, because God needs to know I hate this song and the NSA needs to know too. Anyway, those are my 7 douchiest songs of 2013. Here's to hoping for 2014 to have even more.